Hi everyone. So today we are continuing with user engagement of user psychology and behavior. So today we are going to discuss basically how user engagement affects by the user's psychology and their behavior. So we will just focus on two goals, that is cognitive load and attention span. So we will see how cognitive load and attention span actually uh, affects the user so that our user engagement uh, becomes greater or lesser, right? So let us see what is cognitive load. So cognitive load refers to the amount of mental effort a user needs to understand or interact with the system, app, website, or product. So suppose like mathematics, you need to understand the button system and the search bar of any kind of website. So would you like to go on that website where you need to give so much effort and so much mental pressure on you to get something done, right? So the cognitive load is the that amount of mental effort user needs. So our brain is a limited processing, has a limited processing capacity. So if a website design or a product design requires too much effort, the users get confused. Eventually, what will become? The engagement in the website would be lesser. The user or the whole process becomes very slow, and eventually the user leaves from the platform. Right? We don't want that. So how to reduce the cognitive load in design so that the users have the very hassle-free flow in the website or in the product. So use very simple navigations so that user finds it very easier to use. Keep screens clean and minimal. Don't put many type of things or many type of activities in a similar screen, right? You try to maintain different pages or keep it very minimal so that it becomes very clean and very convenient for a user to get through it. Now use familiar icons, search, home, and settings. Like we are very uh, normalized by using different kinds of icons, right? Like for the calendar icon, there would be an icon. Now, if you give some other kind of um, hard icon for the calendar function, it would be harder for the users to actually address that, okay, this is a calendar or not. So use very familiar icons so that user can interact very easily. Now break informations into smaller chunks. Don't write paragraphs and paragraphs in the website if that is not concerned or relevant to your website, right? So suppose for searching, instead of writing search, you are writing please keep your text here so that we can find out things for you. Now, why do we need to write all this? The user won't read. So keep simple terms, smaller chunks so that users can understand this very fast because they need their tasks done. They don't want to give their time to understand your website or your product. Now use consistent colors and fonts. If you are trying to maintain a website or any app or any product, try to maintain the colors and fonts. Now, this must not happen that for a font you are using for a web page you are using like this yellow and pink, and for the next page you are using purple and red in a very weird manner. Like for abstract, it's fine. But suppose you are using the font colors purple here and in the next one you are using black here. So it's okay, but that won't actually give you much engagement in the website. And also at the last, add clear instructions and feedback. Feedback is very important because if the user wants to interact with your website, they will give you feedback. If they will give you feedback, you can improve them. Otherwise, what can happen that they will simply leave your website and never come back. So these are some steps which can reduce the cognitive load in design and on the user. So there are some kinds of cognitive load. The first is intrinsic load. Second one is extraneous load, and the third is germane load. So intrinsic load is the mental effort required to understand the content itself. Right, like example, a complex tax form, hard even with good design. Now, intrinsic load actually is whatever you make in the website, it's still going to be hard because the tax form is complex, right? So even if you give a good design, people have to give their mind in the form. Next is students learning a new accounting formula. Now, whatever your website looks like, the formula they are learning from the videos are on their own. So they have to give the load to them. That is intrinsic load. We can't actually uh, have much effect on the design for these kind of. Now comes extraneous load. So this is the unnecessary effort caused by poor design or bad presentation. Now this is what we need to actually avoid. So example is cluttered app screens or too many pop-ups, confusing navigation. Suppose you are clicking on any button and there pops up a small window, and that happens for every button. Now you have a full screen full of pop-up windows. We don't want that. So designers must reduce this load. So extraneous load must be reduced. Okay, because this is wholly on us, the designers. Now comes the germane load. So the mental effort used for the learning, understanding, and creating meaning. This is called the germane load. So example is step-by-step tutorials or clean visual layouts. Now, also helpful tool tips. So this is germane load. Now let's move on to attention span. So attention span is the length of time a user can focus on a task before losing interest. So there are some techniques for studying, if you know. Pomodoro, we actually focus on 25 minutes, then take 5 minutes of break and do some of the relatable work, then again come back to 25 minutes. What it does, it actually makes your attention span better so that you can actually give the attention to the task you are doing fully for a few time, because after a certain time the human brain can't focus on a particular thing. It needs break. It needs break to again come back with a good attention span, right? So in digital environments, attention spans are very short because of notifications, multitasking, and fast content. Like if you have noticed, we watch reels and or shorts rather than watching a full YouTube video or a longer video for anything, right? So our attention span is actually getting lesser day by day because of these things. So we actually want the attention span. Now the users don't want long videos. So we need to do some kind of thing so that the user actually have the attention in our product, and so that it gets engaged with the brand, right? So these are some principles, like use strong, clear headlines, then place important info above the fold. Okay, use visuals to grab the attention quickly. Suppose you have good visuals, you'll click there too fast, right? Keep content short and scannable, so that if I just go through it, I just scan it in one chance and I will understand what this uh, website is going to tell me. Use notifications wisely. Don't use too many notifications, it becomes irritation. Like Zomato or Swiggy, they actually they started flirting with you in the notifications, right? And it actually gives them the attention, because you're going to click it, or you are going to at least watch it, or you are going to create memes about it. So it's still getting engagement and the attention that it needs. Add animations or micro interactions to keep engaged. To make anything engaged, we need good visuals, right? So add animations or micro interaction. These are some principles we can use to uh, take the attention of the users, right? Now, these are some types of attention span, like sustained attention. So it is the ability to focus for a long time, like reading an article or watching a long tutorial. Okay. Selective attention. It is focusing on one thing while ignoring distractions. So the example is searching one product on Amazon while ignoring the ads. Now comes divided attention. Now this is handling multiple tasks at once. So this example would be listening to music while chatting on WhatsApp. Okay, we all do that. Now these are the some things that also affects user engagement. That's all for this session. Thank you so much for your time.